Good morning or good afternoon, my lovely people. It's your host, Tony Calera with Syracuse in the Morning, New York's #1 unbiased station. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple topics to address today, but first we gotta talk about this winter storm watch. Another 12 inches is likely according to the National Weather Service. Feels like we just can't catch a break around.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the New York State Office of Emergency Management. As of 10:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, an unidentified illness is currently spreading throughout the city of Syracuse and in nearby areas. Symptoms of this unidentified illness include the following: loss of appetite, fatigue, fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. If you are experiencing one or more of these symptoms, dial 911 or go to the nearest hospital immediately. Currently, the pathogen and methods of transmission are unknown. However, it appears children are more likely to be affected than adults. It is advised to practice proper hygiene, such as washing your hands with soap and water before and after preparing meals and eating, and covering your mouth before coughing or sneezing. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information.
Sorry about that, folks. Seems we got interrupted by the emergency alert system there. Very, very weird message. Make sure to wash your hands out there, folks. Anyway, into today's news, new performances out of the Red House Center.
Delta says this morning the nose gear of a jet bound for LaGuardia went off the taxiway. Delta says no one was hurt, though. Passengers deplaned by the stairs. They were rebooked on other flights. Airport officials say operations at the Syracuse airport were not impacted.
Civil danger warning. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the New York State Office of Emergency Management. The unidentified illness currently spreading throughout the city of Syracuse and nearby areas has been identified and found to be likely radiological in origin. It is currently unknown where these cases of acute radiation syndrome, also known as radiation sickness, originate from or are caused by. All citizens within Onondaga County are advised to avoid any unfamiliar substances and materials until the cause is identified. Dial 911 immediately if you are experiencing the following symptoms: loss of appetite, fatigue, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, sunburns without sun exposure, or hair loss. Do not go to the hospital, as there may be radiological contaminants on your skin, clothing, and hair. Repeating, dial 911 immediately if you are experiencing the following symptoms: loss of appetite, fatigue, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, sunburns without sun exposure, or hair loss. Do not go to the hospital, as there may be radiological contaminants on your skin, clothing, and hair. Stay tuned to the station or other media outlets for further information.
To an unknown substance. That call came at 11:23 a.m. when some of our police officers became symptomatic, became ill. After that happened, 3 Syracuse police officers were transported to upstate for potential exposure, as well as 1 Syracuse firefighter and 1 AM.
The National Weather Service in Buffalo, in conjunction with the New York State Office of Emergency Management, has issued a radiological hazard warning for Onondaga County until the situation has been resolved. At 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an analysis of contaminated clothing from individuals sick with acute radiation syndrome has discovered traces of cesium-137. It is currently unknown where this highly radioactive material originated from, or how these individuals were exposed. Cesium-137, or radiocesium, is a highly radioactive isotope of cesium, primarily used in controlled amounts as radiotherapy in the treatment of cancer. It appears as a white powder, and may have a dull blue glow in low lighting. It is advised to all citizens in Onondaga County to stay away from this substance. If seen, contact emergency services at 911 immediately. Exposure for even a few minutes may result in irreversible health effects, and exposure for over an hour may be lethal. Repeating, the National Weather Service in Buffalo, in conjunction with the New York State Office of Emergency Management, has issued a radiological hazard warning for Onondaga County until the situation has been resolved. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information regarding this public health emergency.
Anxiety is running quite high today in Syracuse for very obvious reasons. Many on social media are calling the current nuclear accident in our city the new Chernobyl. As of this morning, the mayor has declared a public health emergency and has urged citizens not to panic as extensive decontamination and investigation is ongoing. Many
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York State Office of Emergency Management. Shelter in place. There appears to be a growing nuclear accident within the city of Syracuse. Due to health and safety concerns, it is recommended that residents of Onondaga County shelter in place immediately. To shelter in place, go indoors, and take any pets with you. Close and lock all windows and doors. Turn off fans, air conditioners, and furnaces if possible. Close any fireplace dampers if not in use. Go to an interior room without windows if possible, and wait for an all clear. This shelter in place is in effect until January 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and may be extended if necessary. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information regarding this public health emergency.
Apologies for that interruption, folks. However, it seems a shelter-in-place order has been given out. We'll have to go off the air until this situation clears up. We hope this isn't for too long. However, it seems that this situation is very rapidly growing worse. Have a good rest of your day, folks. Stay safe out there.
The following message is transmitted at the request of Onondaga County Emergency Services. Do not come to the Upstate University Hospital, Krause Hospital, Upstate Community Hospital, or the St. Joseph's Health Hospital. Nearly all medical centers in Syracuse are overrun with contaminated patients, and staff have no protective gear suitable for the situation. Do not come to the hospital. Do not come to the hospital. Do not come to the hospital. Do not come to the hospital.
At Syracuse Hancock International Airport, it was 29 degrees, the humidity was 38%, and the winds were blowing southeast at 15 miles per hour. The National Weather Service in Buffalo has issued a winter storm warning for portions of western New York until Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The winter storm watch is no longer in effect. Impacted areas include western New York, generally west of a line extending from Oswego to Binghamton. Accumulations near 12 inches are possible over western New York, to near 24 inches in far west New York near Buffalo. Higher amounts are possible closer to Lake Erie. Snow will spread across West New York Thursday afternoon and through Friday morning. Roads and bridges will become slick, making travel hazardous. Snowfall may be heavy at times. Travel could quickly become dangerous. Exercise extreme caution if travel is necessary. Winds will be east-southeast at 25 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. A winter storm warning means significant amounts of snow are expected or occurring. Significant amounts of snow are forecasted that will make travel dangerous. Only travel in an emergency. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Strong winds are also possible, which will also make travel very hazardous or impossible. Repeating, the National Weather Service in Buffalo has issued a winter storm warning for portions of western New York, generally west of a line extending from Oswego to Binghamton, until Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Tomorrow afternoon, all commercial traffic will be banned along the thruway from exit 46, Rochester, to the Pennsylvania border, well south of Buffalo. All commercial traffic then heading eastbound on I-90 coming out of PA must get off at that same exit 61 ramp. It's the first one just over the border into New York State. Also at 4 p.m. tomorrow,
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York State Office of Emergency Management. Evacuate immediately. An in-depth investigation by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has confirmed extensive radioactive contamination throughout the Southside neighborhood in Syracuse. Traces of cesium-137 have been detected as far as Auburn, New York, with the highest concentrations within the city limits of Syracuse. Evacuate immediately. It is no longer safe within your homes. Repeating, evacuate immediately. It is no longer safe within your homes. National Guard checkpoints exiting the city will examine you and your belongings for radioactive contamination. If any contaminants are found, you and your family will be escorted to an outdoor facility for further evaluation. It is likely that several orphan sources of this highly radioactive material have been spread by individuals unknowingly. Investigations and contact tracing of exposed individuals is currently ongoing. Cesium-137 appears as a white, crystal-like powder that glows blue in low lighting. Stay away from it. It is extremely dangerous and cannot be used for decorative purposes. Repeating, stay away from it. It is extremely dangerous and cannot be used for decorative purposes. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information regarding this public health emergency. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Syracuse Police Department. Heavy snow, traffic, and low visibility is slowing evacuation efforts to a near halt. Individuals stuck within downtown Syracuse, East Side Syracuse, and South Side Syracuse are strongly recommended to leave their vehicles and move north as fast as possible. Traffic has slowed all vehicles within the city, allowing individuals to be exposed to elevated to high levels of radiation for an extended period of time. If you stay, it is unlikely emergency services will be able to help you. Leaving your vehicle is safer than staying. Exposure for over 72 hours in downtown and East Side Syracuse is likely to cause long-term health effects. An exposure for over 3 hours in South Side Syracuse is likely to cause long-term health effects and acute radiation syndrome. Stay away from South Side Syracuse at all costs.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York State Office of Emergency Management. Shelter in place. There are concerns that radioactive contaminants from Onondaga County may drift southeast due to an ongoing winter storm. Due to health and safety concerns, it is required that all residents of Shenango, Cortland, and Madison counties shelter in place immediately. To shelter in place, go indoors and take any pets with you. Close and lock all windows and doors. Turn off fans, air conditioners, and furnaces if possible. Close any fireplace dampers if not in use. Go to an interior room without windows if possible, and wait for an all clear. This shelter in place is in effect until January 15th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and may be extended if necessary. Food, water, and other necessary supplies will be delivered to your residence by the National Guard 3 times per day starting tomorrow. Do not go outdoors. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information regarding this public health emergency. The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Do not consume or come in contact with tap water. Trace amounts of cesium-137 have been detected in Onondaga Lake and could possibly be moving downstream, actively contaminating drinking water. Citizens in the counties of Brooms, Cayuga, Portland, Delaware, Madison, Oneida, Onondaga, Oswego, Otsego, Schuyler, Seneca, Tioga, Tompkins, and Wayne are advised not to drink or come in contact with tap water. Do not take showers or bathe, wash clothes, or flush toilets until further notice. It is recommended that individuals only use bottled drinking water for consumption and use. Visit www.dec.ny.gov/chemical for further information on water quality in your area. Stay tuned to this station or other media outlets for further information regarding this public health emergency.